Lifesurf Pharmacy is a healthcare provider for genuine medicine. Our main branch is located at Rubis Toll Station, Sabaki, Athi River on Mombasa Road. Our top value is convenient healthcare and dispensing quality prescriptions at the best value proposition. Our main attention spans around providing quality medicine and excellent services to our customers. We're giving 10% discounts on all supplements, hypertension and diabetic drugs. We also believe you shouldn't pay too much to stay healthy, and that's why we'll match any advertised price on prescriptions and medicines. Lifesurf Pharmacy is a healthcare provider with a human touch.
Greetings, my name is Ann Mutua. There's a lot about me, but today let me say that I'm a daughter to Monica Wanjiko. I'm a sister to Tabitha and Stephanie. I am a wife to Stephen Mutua and a mother of 4, Prince, Victory, Kibali and Sifa. And to date I am the Executive Director of Compassionate Hands for the Disabled Foundation. My background story is that I was born in Korogocho, and I was raised by a single mom, and characteristically I was born with disability. I was born without mobility from 0 years to 8 years, and well, when my dad passed on, we found ourselves in Korogocho, and life was not easy growing up in Korogocho, especially without ability to access basic needs. So I will say I grew up in a hard background and a life of challenges, but I thank God He came, and through well wishes I was able to go through surgeries, and thereafter years of rehabilitation. Eventually at 9 I walked. Well, I will say life was very difficult. I understood from an early point that I was different. And of course, the mere fact, like for example, despite our difficult situation, my sisters will attend a community school, but I was not able to because of our disability. And therefore, I realized the isolation that comes from disability. And of course, even a perception of the society, it wasn't easy. So I grew up with the notion there is stigma and discrimination for people with disability. But I thank God that in the same situation, my heart was hardened to become a soldier for others. My sort of disability that I was born with is actually disability, physical disability, hemiparalysis on my right side, which affects my right leg and my right hand. And well, initially I wasn't able to walk, I would just crawl. But I thank God He sent well wishers who came and supported me to start my journey with medical attention. And I've gone at least around 6 surgeries. And then let's say 3 years of rehabilitation. You know, therapy, physiotherapy and occupational therapy. But eventually at 9 I walked, and this was brought about by well wishes. My family wouldn't afford, but this is the best family that I've ever had, I could ever want. Amazingly, I think my mom was my first people I will call my advocates. She didn't hide me. It's only that she didn't afford the services that I required then, but she will not hide me. She will stand for me as much as she can. She gave me, like the way my sisters were given, there was no discrimination. But one of the things that she did is to teach me prayers, and she brought me early in church. So that also shaped my growing up, knowing that there is a healing God and knowing that life one day will ever change. So she instilled faith in me right from early age. Well, growing in Korogocho Academy ghetto, I would say hiyo season tuligrow ilikuwa mbaya because there was a lot of sexual abuse and all that. Na ilikuwa madam, they will get boyfriends ndio waweze ku access this. But vile tu nimemention, my mom took us early in church, and we didn't know other way apart from trusting in God. And she would struggle, but I also thank God that I got the well-wishers became my sponsor, so at least watu wakihustle sana mimi sikuhustle. I will say what really affected me when I was growing up, I would wish to be like every other young girl, not to limp and all that. But again, as I'm saying, I think people find solace in different things. Church became my solace. So it was stress mob, I didn't have them. Actually, I schooled in Korogocho Primary School, and I later on went to a nearby school called Our Lady of Fatima. Thereafter, I've done several courses, because at some point, I also went back to Korogocho. There's a station there, Coach FM, and I broadcasted there for around 3.5 years, because I loved media. And it is now in Coach FM that as I would go and collect stories for children, I realized there is a society that I belong to. Thank God I'm better than them, because somebody assisted me go through the surgery and assistance to walk and walk into my dreams. I always say I walked into my dreams. And I realized some of them will be hidden to death. Some will never see light until they lose their sight. And I was moved. I would be one of them were it not God intervening. So, and there, that is when now my calling to help my kind, I call them my kind, and compassionate home for the disabled was born. First of all, let me backtrack kidogo. Disability had really taken a toll on my esteem as I was growing up. And I faced a lot of stigma and discrimination, especially when I was in class 7. I remember a group of girls ganging against me just because I'm disabled. And amazingly, this didn't work negatively on me, because as I've told you, people find solace in different stuff. Me, that time I went into books. I summered, nilisoma mbaya. Actually class 8, I topped them. I showed them, well, that is what you want, you will not find me. And so disability to me has made me realize that there is no excuse to what you don't have. Just give what the world is expecting. And so thereafter, even after high school, even getting myself in such a station, it was just trying to showcase, don't look at me from the way you see, just give me a chance and listen to what I can do. And so for me, I am a go-getter. I have learned that it is fighting, it is not caving in. So I think disability did me well, because I'm like, you cannot stop at your weaknesses, just overcome them. And my disability, yes, it's physical, but I even know people have other disabilities which is even mental. So for me, I realized that you just need to use what you have versus what you don't have. Well, there are extreme cases with children with special needs, especially in the slums. Majority of them undergo different forms of abuse, be it physical, sexual. They are even put under child labor. Well, for example, a child, because they are in a wheelchair, they are made to beg to survive and sustain the whole family. But amazingly, in fact, because I will collect, in fact, I had 2 programs. One was called Watoto wa Mkeni. I will tell of children's rights and all that. But no, this is a child with disability who has been sexually abused by the father. and they want to malizia kinyumbani. They will call it kumalizia kinyumbani. I will imagine telling those stories over the radio, but after you're done, nothing else is done, because a story is a story until another stories come. So I was so touched. Then there's another girl in the same neighborhood. There was a fire breakout, and this is a 2-year-old girl with cerebral palsy. She wasn't able to run, so she perished rather in the same tragedy. And I was like, what if this girl had a safe place to be in? And that is when now I thought of a daycare, because I was like, I thank God I didn't go through sexual abuse, neither did I lose my life in such tragedies. But what if I do something and give a child a chance? Maybe they can meet somebody in my center and they also get surgery help. They can also be educated. And you know, I always think education is an equalizer. So for me, I was driven by such things. First of all, I empathize with the child, because some of them do not have a voice. They do not have a place of defending themselves. They're being taken advantage of. And this is actually sad, because as they are, you know, exposed to harsh weather conditions, the scorching sun, sometimes too cold, like even right now it's very cold, but a child is paraded somewhere to beg, the lifespan is reduced. And they do not beg to help this child, because I think there are institutions that this child can benefit from. I've even stopped and asked, do you want this child to be helped? And the mother looked like, you see, you're not a footer. So it's a form of income. The child is a source of income. But unfortunately, they die young, because you imagine living on the streets every day. Sometimes it's rainy, you're tired and nobody cares. And all you can do is 3 meals, even on the hard labor. So for me, it's sad. I rarely help on such, unless that child will be put either in a school setup or a home setup, or even try to empower the mother. But they do not want that. The child is a shortcut to money. First of all, I want to tell every mom who is gifted with a child with special needs is that they are special people that God entrusted with a life that is so dependent. And despite the fact that society thinks that this is a curse or it's a punishment from something you did, I would want you to know that God is the creator and He creates people the way He wants. First of all, do not accept the judgment, because if a mother accepts that judgment, they will tend to hide the child. And sometimes, unfortunately, some of them have abandoned their children or killed them. So a mother is the first advocate. If you can stand for the child, and then despite the background, I believe now the government is trying to do something. There is the registration of persons with disability, and I think this is done through the government district hospital. It is possible to go to the nearest one, like for example, us who are in Nairobi near Mama Lucy Kibaki. There is those assessment. Thereafter, you are advised on how to get the disability card, because first of all, again, it is important to know information helps, and it is also good to place yourself on a place of help. The first thing is to register yourself with the government, because I know our government, especially right now, is moving and gearing towards helping persons with disability. I know there's a cash transfer for the severely challenged children with mothers. There are also support of assistive devices. But of course, you have to place yourself on a place of help by being registered. The other thing I also think is that somehow people will reciprocate on how you treat your child. If you show them that I love this child, despite what, I mean, people will not have an option. And then you can take your child to school. Actually, that is placing them better to be employed or become businessmen. I was educated by my mom despite, you know, having disability. So education is also a key component that mothers of special needs children should pursue. The other thing I think is that the community needs awareness on how to support persons with disability and the caregivers, because they are the first killers to these dreams and the lives of these children. So there is need for awareness, and this should be done by everybody, the churches, the government parastatals. There is a lot everyone can play. And also think the government should also be ready to aid persons with disability by creating infrastructure that is disability friendly, the roads, the buildings, I know at least they've tried news the deaf can participate in, but there's still much more to do. So it is a collective effort individually and for persons with disability. Come out, show what you are, show what you have. I really discourage where you want sympathy. Mimi ni mlemavu wacheni, you know, please. You can work. I always think I can buy sweets from that physically challenged person who's selling sweets than that person who's begging. So there's something people with disability can also do to like economically help themselves. Begging should be the last resort if need be. My take on children going to either regular schools, they are called regular schools, and special schools. First of all, I have I'm not on the fence, but I would also say that sometimes children feel in a special school it's like they're in a support group. It's a common community. They feel like ni comrades, one understandiana. Well, it might be a positive attitude, but again it can be detrimental, because I've seen some children who are not very severely challenged aping or copying what other severely challenged are doing or are. So sometimes it can work negatively, but sometimes they also come out strong knowing that there are others like me. Public schools, the only thing is that sensitivity should start when children are small. Like in kindergarten, children should be taught how to embrace children with special needs. If they learn early from onset, they will grow knowing that this is part of us, this can happen, you know. But unfortunately, they don't know. They see this child and they're like, Mbono kwa hivyo? So for me, I think even kindergartens, small babies should be taught how to grow up with children with special needs. So I think either way, a child, it all depends on the community around the child, how they react to that child. Disability is like a social club. Anybody can join it anytime. And when that happens, just in case, okay, God forbid, we don't want it to happen, but in case it happens, I always think there is a personal definition of who you are. Are you defined by your leg? Because if your leg is cut or something has happened, what other values have remained within you? The first thing I always think on how to overcome challenges is having a positive attitude and the ability to know that I can rise from this and I will move on. I think, okay, fine, sometimes it's been gruesome, so there's need for counseling and acceptance. You only accept you have a problem for you to get solutions. But that does not mean life has ended. You need to pick yourself up and move on with your life. Well, I think there are different reasons why people become disabled or acquire disability. Either you were born with it, an illness, or an accident. Either way, disability is disability. So that is why there is an assessment to attest that indeed you have a disability. And so that is why we are advised to go to the government facilities for the assessment. And then, of course, they will ascertain what category of disability you have. This disability card is for everyone living with a disability, regardless of whether you are born with it or you acquired it along the way. And I think from the chiefs, local chiefs as well, they can assist with this information. So the other contact person is your local authority, the chiefs. Having been able to be given a chance by God through Compassionate Hand for the Disabled Foundation in Rwai, and today I have 1 or 3 children, and majority are abandoned and orphaned. Whereas when the immediate caregivers die, the relatives do not want to take on it. Such institution comes from a point, are born actually because people do not have enough knowledge. If these mothers realize that if I raise my child, perhaps they'll become prominent people in the society, they wouldn't throw them away. So for me, I am giving the caregivers an advice that please do not throw away your child, do not abandon them, because some of them actually have a great talent. They are really blessed by God and they come out so nicely. Educate them. And for the society, please do not judge these people harshly. Give them opportunities. It is even difficult to employ a person with disability regardless of how qualified they are. Who will employ them? So most of them actually end up depressed, because even after being educated, these jobs are hard to find. Let's have a very warm society towards these people. And for people of well wishes, if you can support a person with disability, some of them do not thrive simply because they lacked the opportunity. You can hold a child and educate them and brighten their life and brighten their paths.
Lifesurf Pharmacy is a healthcare provider for genuine medicine. Our main branch is located at Rubis Toll Station, Sabaki, Athi River on Mombasa Road. Our top value is convenient healthcare and dispensing quality prescriptions at the best value proposition. Our main attention spans around providing quality medicine and excellent services to our customers. We're giving 10% discounts on all supplements, hypertension and diabetic drugs. We also believe you shouldn't pay too much to stay healthy, and that's why we'll match any advertised price on prescriptions and medicines. Lifesurf Pharmacy is a healthcare provider with a human touch.